Hi, my friend.
That opening is giving me tears.
It it brings me right back. I realized that you and we said goodbye to each other, gave French little air kisses on the cheek, and then went back to our busy lives. And now I'm like there, right there, and I'm reliving every moment again.
Same. Well, it is so, thank you so much for, I know we're both busy little bees, but I wanted to welcome you and everyone who's watching. And for those of you who don't know, my dear friend Jen Cushman, Jen is, I don't even know where to
How do you
start.
describe it, right?
How do I describe you? You're a fantastic multimedia artist in your own right who has been doing art of many different media for many years. But Jen is also the Soul Stirring Retreats is Jen's brainchild and family business.
Mhm.
So Jen, I think to start this off, before we even jump into the France trip, why don't you talk a little bit about soul stirring retreats, and then we'll talk about my soul stirring retreat and get everybody going.
That's perfect. I love it. My necklace is jiggling as I'm like doing my thing. This is one of my mixed media, my multimedia necklaces that I have from a little one of the little candy tins that we get in France. So anyway, it's just jiggling with happiness right now. So um, welcome. Hi, everybody. So thank you, Kate, for welcoming here. My name is Jen Cushman, and I am the founder of Soul Stirring Retreats. Hi, guys. I'm so glad to see you guys on there doing that, and Maria Chiyu. So that's awesome. Soul Stirring Retreats is the brainchild that I had with as a family business. My husband is semi-retired. He left the corporate world happily, walked away from the corporate world in the pandemic and did a pandemic pivot. And he came home and recovered from corporate and did all of that. And then we have a 15-year-old daughter who is an amazing emerging artist. And she asked me when she was 12, she said to me, and she said, Mom, I want to be an artist. And I know artists have a hard time making money and being successful. Will you teach me to be a successful artist? And so when your child looks at you in the face and says, teach me to be a successful artist, you have to turn the mirror back on yourself and say, oh, okay, am I a successful artist? How do I do that? What did I do that? And how do I now pass the torch? So
Right.
all of that came together for me to finally have the support to say, you know what, I've been going to La Cascade. I've been teaching my own retreats in France at that point, 9 different times, 9 years. And I realized that one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to open it up to a family business. I wanted to go to my favorite people, my favorite amazing rock star artist friends, and say, hey, nudge, nudge, would you like to come to France? Bring your people and let me help you make this an amazing experience so you, in turn, can help your people have a dream transformational immersive experience. So that's the
Love it.
nutshell of soul stirring retreats.
I love it. And you can find, I put the URL right on the bottom there. You can find all of the information, not only about my retreat, but I know, Jen, you are heading up a retreat with Kate. Sorry,
Mm-hmm. I know I
Kate
have two, Kate Thompson.
Thompson. That's right.
Yeah,
Apologies. Yes.
yeah,
So you folks are doing a cool thing. And you also have Kathy Cano Murillo, who is also the Crafty Chica, doing some cool stuff there. So yeah, it's gonna be a great trifecta.
right.
So we're all doing individual weekends. My weekend, or my week
Not
rather,
weekend, it's a whole week.
but the whole week, my week goes from, the dates are, I'm pulling mine up right here, June 25th to July 2nd, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And so let me tell you a little bit, folks, about what we're going to be doing. Oh, and thank you so much. Everybody's saying hello, and a bunch of you have jumped on and watched. So thank you so much for that. I'm going to put this banner back up of me because there I am standing in, I don't know if that's, I think that's Dufour, I think.
No, is that Dufour?
Maybe,
Not
I don't know.
quite.
Maybe that's Toulouse. I don't know. But
I don't know. We go
I think
all over the
you
place.
took,
It's hard
yeah,
to.
I think you took that picture.
I did. I love that picture of you.
Yes.
Hmm.
So, so last year we had such a great time. We went and we did a big kind of immersion necklace piece. We stayed at the retreat. I call it a retreat center, but it's a French home. It's a house
It's a house.
in the village of Dufour called La Cascade. Now, La Cascade is a storied institution, and we can talk more about that later. And there's uh, all kinds of great memories and things that have happened there. But this last year, I was lucky enough to go. It was my inaugural time. We had a group of wonderful ladies from all over the world, really, the country. Joined me, and we beaded and we beaded and we beaded and we ate, we drank, we laughed, we created. We had some really great, really interesting experiences. Some of those which we're going to replicate this time, but I've got some new experiences for you that we're going to talk about.
Mhm.
But one of the things that really struck me about being able to immerse ourselves in, in the beading last year was that La Cascade really was a place where creativity came together.
Mhm.
And I thought, what else can we do? I mean, I love beading. I love, that. I mean, I've been doing beading and metal work for, I don't know, since 1992, even before that, but professionally since 92.
Right.
So I was so inspired. And when I was preparing for France, beginning of last year, I made myself some pieces, some
Mhm.
wardrobe pieces. And I wore them throughout. I was super comfortable. I felt stylish and cute. And I thought, you know what we're going to do next year? We're going to sew.
Mhm. Can I interject really quick?
Yes.
So normally as Americans, we stick out like a sore thumb, right? Or even all over. Now, Tina, you're not American, European, right? But you were French, and so So we do that, and you were so stylish, and your outfits were so cool. You had the French locals turning their head, and they were turning and looking at you. So it was pretty. I mean, when you can do fashion that is
Well,
French fashion, that was pretty exciting moment.
you're very kind. It
Mhm.
was, I don't know what came over me, but I'm walking the streets of that little small town, bonjouring like it's, like there's no tomorrow, chatting with people. It was really fun. So I
Mhm.
thought, you know what? Why don't, because sartorial statements have always been super important to me. Not that I am the most stylish woman on the planet, because I certainly am not. I am no slave to fashion, but I am really into kind of dressing your style, or dressing with a little bit of flair, or not. Even I'm trying to fix my scarf. Here we go.
Yeah.
Um there we are. Whatever. So I thought, you know what? We are going to sew. I've kind of reconnected with my sewing roots in the last few years. As a kid, as a child, my grand taught me how to sew, and we made all our clothes. Gran made everything, and I was always sewing something. And I always wanted, like, things from the store. And I did have, of course, store-bought clothes, but like fancy dresses or special occasion dresses, a lot of those we made, right? We made a lot of things for around the house. I mean, Gran was a product of the Depression. She was a make do and mend kind of a woman. So I really, really learned. My mom is an excellent seamstress, an award-winning quilter. She's really an amazing fiber artist in her own right. So I love textiles, and I love sewing. I love fabric. If any of you go to my Insta, you can find me on Instagram at Bead Kate. I'll put it up there. You can see kind of what I've been doing lately. I'll just put it up here in the chat here real quick, in the comments. And so, Instagram, let me do this. I can't talk and type at the same time.
All works.
Okay, there we go.
I'm going to say hi, Bess. Hi, Maria. Hi, Tina. Hi, everybody.
Yes, it's so great to have everybody here. Oh, love. There we go. You can find it right there. And so, so I've been having a lot of fiber journeys, knitting and crocheting and quilting and, and making clothes. So, a couple of years ago, moving here to Fresno, I connected with an amazing bunch of fiber artists from all walks of life, clothing makers, weavers, you name it. But there's this small cadre of us who really love to make clothes in what we call the Lagenlook style, and Lagenlook. And what Lagenlook means is it's a German word meaning roughly layered dressing, right? So the clothes are kind of unconstructed. They have a finish, but they have also kind of a little bit of an edge. It's a very distinctive look, very European look. Well, we have,
and it's very flattering for me with the fuller figure. I have to tell you, when you've got, when you got a little curves and a little handle and you got that very, that feminine shape, that Lagenlook works really well on the curves.
Really works well. And we've followed, there's a pattern maker and designer by the name of Tina Givens. We're really into Tina Givens. Her patterns are great. This piece that I'm wearing, this is actually the piece we're going to make. We're going to base our look off of this piece from Tina. And so it's going to be really fun. So, but anyway, let me land the plane here. I've just really embraced sewing and making items, like you say, Jen, to fit your body, whether you're a size 0 or a size 5X. Doesn't matter, right? It doesn't. We're going to make the clothing that fits you. And so that's the sewing journey that I've been on for the last few years. And it's really gratifying. If you've seen on my Insta, around my birthday every year in September, I make myself something, whether it's a piece of jewelry, whether it's a handbag, whatever it is. This year I made myself a dress. And it was really fun to wear. I wore it on my birthday. I wear it now all the time. It's kind of a fancy dress. The fabric was kind of fancy. I found the fabric on the giveaway table at our fiber guild. And I'm like, I'm going to make myself a fancy dress. And so it was really, the lines and everything were simple, again, with kind of this Lagenlook kind of feel, but it was super gratifying. So that's the feeling that we're going to have when we're in France together and sewing. We are going to have a really creatively, like, deep bones satisfying experience, because as women, or craftspeople, men, wherever you fall on that spectrum, making our clothing, we've been adoring ourselves and making clothing for millennia, right? So we're tapping into something that I think is really, I don't know, that we almost already know how to do. We just don't know how to do it, right? Because maybe you didn't sew as a kid. Maybe, you didn't take a home ec class, or maybe you did take a home ec sewing class, but you haven't sewed since you made that wonky apron in 8th grade, whatever, right? But we're going to tap into these hands creating garments. Now, the garment, let me talk to you a little bit about the garment that we're making. And I'm wearing, I can't keep my eyes off my scarf because I love it so much. This, I'm going to talk about where I got this and how this scarf kind of falls into what we're going to be doing. But the piece that we're going to make, and I'm going to try and show you. My studio is super messy right now, so do forgive me. But I'm going to scoot back a little bit. You can see this top. Jen put this top on, by the way. She put it
did.
on.
I put it on and it fit me like a glove.
Like a glove.
The only reason why you have that on your body is because you agreed to come back this year.
I
If
know,
you were
exactly.
not going to come back and teach, that would have gone home with mine.
Exactly.
It fit me beautifully, by the way.
It did. So we are going to use, and we're going to have some Zoom sessions, you and I, and the students. We're going to have some pre-class Zoom sessions. So we're going to talk about fabric. I'm going to tell you where to get it. I'm going to tell you what you do to prepare it. There's not much we need to do to prepare. We have to launder it. I want you to come with your fabric laundered. But you're going to be fine. We're going to talk a little bit about style. I'm going to plant some seeds in your brain before we go, because we're really going to hit the ground running during this retreat. Now, the piece that we're making, you can see it's two pieces. It's a front and it's a back. The beauty about something like this is we can make it longer. You can see mine kind of swoops up.
Show that beautiful ruffle.
Yeah,
and see how shorter in the front, longer in the back.
Yeah, see how, and it's kind of a long, short kind of thing. These are pants that actually a Lagenlook friend made for me. I love these pants too. And you may be getting a bonus pants pattern, folks, as well. I'll show you. They're so super easy. So you can make a whole look like this. But something like this can be split up the center and made as a short cardigan jacket, a long duster. This can be made as a longer dress. You can hack this off here and make something sleeveless. You can have the sleeves go out like this, up like this. It doesn't matter. And so what we're going to do is in class, we're going to start our very first day. We're going to jump in. We're going to do some measuring. Okay. And, you are all amongst friends here at whatever size you are, whatever, it makes no difference. It's like the confessional. Nothing will go beyond our atelier. But also, I want you to take pride in where you are, wherever you are, and feel super, super comfortable in your body. So we're going to start by measuring me in class. I'm going to show you how to do it. We're going to break off into pairs. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a chart that has your measurements. So then we take that chart, and everyone, we're going to have a pattern. I'm going to show you. We're going to actually kind of play around with drafting our patterns and stuff. I know this sounds like, what pattern drafting? It's not hard. I promise you.
Right.
Then we're going to translate.
I get anxiety because I don't sew, but I trust you, and I know that it's going to be okay.
Yeah, have zero anxiety.
And it's okay.
Yeah. No, I love it. Yeah, Maria's saying I can't sew a straight line. That is great. Don't worry. That's the thing. And I am going to give you. I'm so excited. Like I'm sweating. I'm trying to find a Kleenex here. But I will share with you the tips and tricks that I've learned from 40 plus years of sewing. I feel like sometimes sewing and garment making is behind like this magic curtain, right? It's like
jewelry making.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, I could never make my own clothes. Oh my gosh. Yes, you can. So after we deal with this and dealing with our pattern, we're going to make that straight away. So the first day you're there, we're cutting out our pieces. You are going to be cutting out and you're going to start to sew, because we need to get this base done so we can play around later, right? And it's not a difficult, we could cut this actually so it's like all one piece and then fold it over and it would just be these seams as well. But we're going to make a top seam here, a top seam here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 seams you have to sew. That's it, right? So we're going to have some machines. I'm going to teach you, if you've never worked on a machine, I'm going to show you how to use a machine. We're also going to do a lot of hand sewing. Because something like this, a garment like this, we're using 100% linen. This type of garment has kind of the style, this kind of smock kind of style. It's been worn for centuries, right? I mean, we wear it now. I could have worn it 100 years ago. I probably could have worn it 100 years ago before that, right? So we're going to do some hand stitching, some hand sewing as well. So if you're like, you know what, sewing machine's not my gig, not a problem. You could sew this entire thing by hand. If you're like, I want to get on that sewing machine and I never, ever want to stop, same. So we're going to have a bank of machines. Not everyone is going to have a dedicated machine, right? We're going to share our machines. We're sharing all of our, like, you know, our pressing stations, our sewing stations, but it's kind of like we're in that atelier workroom where we're all working together, right? So it's going to be great. We're going to do some stitching down by the river. Maybe we'll go down into town. We're going to turn the whole town into our atelier.
Absolutely.
So,
we can hand stitch with our cafes going on, our little bit of our, you know, our little afternoon cookies. Like, we got this, right? It's going to be fun.
It's going to be so fun. So my goal for you in the class, just to finish up here, and then we'll talk about the other things that we're going to do. My goal is for you to make one garment like this. If you're ambitious and you're like, I'm going to bring 2 sets of fabrics, right? I'm going to bring one. You can bring a second, and even if you don't get it finished, it'll be ready to go. So we'll talk about that more in the Zoom sessions, about what's some realistic expectations for you. And Maria, I cannot wait. I think that's awesome. Your slow stitch pieces. We're going to do some embellishing. I'm going to teach you how to do some bead embellishing. We're going to work on, I'm going to make everybody a little patch that you can put on. Like, this is a pin that I did here, but you can stitch it on. We're going to do a lot of some fabric manipulation. All kinds of things are going to come out from this base piece.
And Kate, I do want to remind you and everybody else, the studio is open 24/7. So,
yes,
you know,
yes.
So that's the thing. It's like, you know, you may be taking a little break, but it doesn't matter. The sewing machines are going to be there. The studio is going to be open. There's no TV. There's no Netflix unless you download it. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're going to have time. You're going to have plenty of time to really work and talk and do that kind of work in there. And I'm telling you, I'm really looking forward to, you know, we didn't get a chance to really enjoy the beautiful living room last year. So next year, we're going to really get to sit almost like the modern quilting bee. We're going to get a chance to sit. We're going to be comfortable. We're going to have our hand stitching in front of us. We're going to have whatever our chosen drink may be, you know, alcohol or non-alcohol, whatever you want. And we're going to be able to really, you know, stitch and bitch, for lack of a better word. You know what I mean? We're going to have a great time, because this retreat is intimate. It's women only, you know what I mean? It's like, we're going to be there. We will share our hearts. We will share, you know, we really become sisters, and art is literally the thread that will run through everything we do. And you will help take that thread and pull us all together.
Yeah. And we're going to be pulling together also with some really great excursions, really great experiences. Last year, and some of you went with me, we kind of did this as kind of an off-the-cuff thing. There's a woman there who has an atelier who sells vintage textiles, where I got my fantastic foulard, which I love. This is vintage. This is probably the turn of the last century here. I love it so much. So Alain, what she does is she has collected textiles from all over the world, buttons, different things, all kinds of cool stuff. So we're going to visit her
years. 60
What's that?
Years. She's been collecting for 60 years.
Yeah, it's incredible. And so we are going to be able to get some really vintage pieces, as in 1800s, late 1800s, late 19th century. Cool stuff if you want to embellish or just to add to your collection, stuff like that. So we are going to be visiting her atelier. It's fantastic. Now, Jen, when we were talking about this last year, Jen planted a seed and said, I'm going to try and get something special only for this group. So, Jen, I want you to talk about what our super unique, I can't even believe we're doing it, experience that we're going to do together.
And this really is. So you are the only one out of the trifecta that will be getting this excursion and this experience because you are textile focused. So it has nothing to do with me and Cade or Kathy Cantamario. It's just that we are more ephemera focused and other things. But with you being textile focused, you're going to do this. So there is a plant called woad, WOAD, woad. And woad, if you guys know anything about that French blue, right? The iconic French blue. It's the past. You say it because my French is terrible, even though I lead these things. The pastels, right? The pastel. And so it is this plant that is the ugliest plant you've ever seen. Like it is this ugly brown, hairy plant. You would never look at that plant and think that anything that beautiful can come from it. And it is woad dyeing. So we are going to have a class with an artist, a French artist who lives there, works there, who runs these woad dyeing. She has her woad dyeing work is in a lot of the boutiques and shops when you come in. And it is that gorgeous pastel that we have. And so we're going to have a full day where it's going to be hands-on dyeing. She's going to be the instructor. You, my friend, get to be the student, which is going to be interesting. So you're going to have to be quiet and be the student, right? She's the instructor. So
silence and amour.
I know exactly. And I'm going to be there, and we are going to woad dye. We are going to actually take this ugly plant and we are going to create the most beautiful blue pastel that you have. We'll be able to do scarves. We'll have pieces. It'll be with the slow stitching. And this woad plant only grows in this Tarn region of France, and then another area. I can't remember exactly where. If it's that very interesting climate. It takes that particular plant, and the woad plant is what created the wealth for Toulouse in the area that they came. So Toulouse became one of the wealthiest ports after Paris because of the woad trade, and the trading went on of this woad plant because it's not something you can get. The only thing that really replaced it was the indigo, because indigo came in because it was cheaper and it was more widespread.
Right, more plentiful.
Artisans were able to get their hands on the indigo as opposed to the woad. So what happened is, like anything else, the more plentiful, more inexpensive came into existence. But this is the original French blue pastel. And it is really what we did. So that's the really exciting piece. And again, you're not going to be able to go to any other retreat and really be able to get this particular experience. This is specific for the region, specific for what we're doing, and only for you, my friend.
I'm so excited. The thing about being able to create with the woad, like you said, you mentioned indigo, which I also I did a indigo retreat dyeing with some of my fiber friends. I love working with indigo, and indigo blue is such a magical color. But woad blue, French blue, it's different. It's not the same kind of,
it's not that deep.
Yeah, it's kind of in that same family, but that French blue is so region specific. I'm really super excited. As Maria says,
yes.
Wait, we get to see how the dye is made. When are we going tomorrow?
You're going to take the plant, Maria. You're actually you're going to be taking this ugly little hairy plant, and you're actually going to be doing it. Each of us will get our plant. We will get our vats. We will get the stuff, and we have an expert on. So we will do it correctly. Like, this isn't a fly by night thing. We are going to know how to set it, how to do it, how to take care of it, how to create it, all that kind of stuff. So we're getting the top of the line, literally top of the line education from a top of the line teacher in that area.
As Tina's saying, bring gloves. I don't know, Tina. I may just keep my gloves, my hands. They'll be dyed for at least a month. Anyway,
Mhm.
so that's going to happen. We also have some other excursions. We're going to go to the market in Revel. We're going to do the Grand Vignette. So you'll also have some opportunities to purchase some really cool stuff. Those of you who went with us last year know that the Grand Vignette is so fun. You find so many amazing,
Treasure.
amazing treasures. It's going to be fun. So a balance of excursions, uh, and we're looked after by Jen, her fantastic husband, Greg. We're driven all over. We're taken very, very good care of. So if you're worried about, well, I don't speak French, well, it matters not. Don't worry. You have a step-by-step itinerary. You know exactly what to do. You're going to know, we're going to let you know how to, where to fly in. We all meet together. We drive in. So you don't have to get there on your own. It's really, if you haven't traveled overseas in a while, or if you're afraid to travel by yourself, please don't be. And yes, Tina, you learn how to count at the
Yes,
Grand Vignette.
it's true. I do want to say one thing about the flight, because we have had some people that were they're very fine traveling within the US. They're a
Mm-hmm.
little bit worried about getting overseas, possibly having to get through customs. So one of the things we want to do, Kate, is when, because it is an intimate retreat, because there is only 10 people,
Right.
because we only have 4 spaces left. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? We have a
Yeah.
lot of time. Like, you are almost sold out already, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
True.
when we get there, Greg and I will actually take everybody where they are located in the United States. We will pair people up that are close to each other. If anybody's very concerned, you might be able to meet in like Chicago. You might be able to meet in whatever the closest, whatever you transfer, and then get on the same flight to go overseas together. So that way you
Mm-hmm.
can navigate that together. We are doing everything we can to make sure that you feel as safe and as comfortable as you possibly can.
Yeah. And,
Mhm.
and, Darfur is a small town, and it's very,
Rural.
rural. It's really distraction free. It's really charming. Everyone was so friendly. We're all going to be staying together at La Cascade. We eat our meals together. So we are
Family.
together, right, friends? Yes, we're going to be like this. My husband, Chris, is going to be joining us again. He's really excited to join everyone to see the group. And on the day we leave on July 2nd, that is our 11th wedding anniversary. So you'll get to throw us a big farewell anniversary party as we all depart together. But it's going to be really, really fun. So if you go on to the Soulstir Magic website, you can see the little video I played at the beginning. You can watch that again. There's a real list. There's a really great description of what we're going to do at the retreat. And I think there's also a link, Jen, you and I had a chat that's up on YouTube that you can watch. It was kind of at the end of our retreat last time, so you can kind of watch that. If you do have questions, reach out. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Jen. As Jen said, space is limited, and we're really close to being sold out, and I'd love to have a full retreat. So I know that stitching and sewing, it's kind of like, wait a minute, Kate makes jewelry. But I will tell you, this is my soul stirring thing right here. We're going to have so much fun. And again, if you haven't sewn a stitch, more power to you. I'm going to teach you everything there is to know. And you will leave with a fantastic garment that will be an heirloom that you'll keep for the rest of your life. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah. And I just want to say, so deposits, the way this is working, Kate, because there's so few left, really what happens is it's really first come, first serve. So who comes in, puts their 250 non-refundable, it's a non-refundable deposit. You put the 250 non-refundable deposit down, that guarantees your spot. Okay.
Right.
La Cascade, because we are in a house, it is living family style. It is shared rooms, right? So you'll definitely be sharing rooms. I know some people are like, I don't know about sharing with a stranger. Trust me, after the first night, you won't be a stranger anymore, because you can't be a stranger.
Yeah, for sure.
in the way it works, right?
Yeah.
So there is that, and there is payment plan options available. So
Mhm.
you will just talk to us about that. We'll get that set up. You can have the payment plans on how you want to do it, how you want to be comfortable with it. Greg is welcome. We're not charging any extra fees for setting up a payment plan. You know, that's just not anything we're doing for it. So there, again, we're doing everything we can to make it as easy and comfortable and safe and wonderful. You know, it's one of those things. It's like if this has any inkling, if there is a little bit of a flutter in your heart, if there's anything in your soul, and what's stopping you is fear, you make sure you give me a call, because it's like I can take care of that fear and you can be brave and you can truly have. Maria's on here. I wrote an article in the Turquoise Iris Journal, and I did Maria because Maria's here. She coming there with you last year changed her life. She realized a lot of things. She came back and she is a different person because of doing this. And that's what I want for all of us. Life is beautiful. Life is magical. And sometimes in our world, and with what happens sometimes with what's going on in our world, we can forget how magical life is, and we can forget how beautiful we are. And our entire thing is for you to get there and find your magic and remember that you are a unicorn amongst unicorns.
It is really true. And it's gonna be fun. I really appreciate, Jen, that you trusted my vision enough on this class. And those of you, there's a bunch of you who are on here who are joining me there, who are trusting me to lead you through this experience. But it's going to be fun. We're going to all learn a lot. As I say, I'm going to prepare you very well with some of our Zoom sessions. So the materials list for you is very, very minimal. And yeah, so it's going to be super easy, super fun. All you have to do is pack up, get on that plane, and then all of a sudden you are in France having an amazing time with us. So,
and remember, we don't grow, we don't shift, we don't transform, and we don't change unless we put ourselves in a situation to be able to do those things. So, you know, so if you want to up level, if you want to grow, if you want to have more experiences, you want to find those magic, you have to be willing to put yourself out there to do that. So, you know, and what better way to do it than with somebody who's got a safety net, right? And we got double safety net. You got you and me. Actually, we got quadruple, because we've got our handsome, strong hubbies there to help. So
that's right. We've got our better halves.
Safety net upon safety net upon safety net, and strong men to carry things. So it works out really well.
Yeah, it's fun. And Chris loves to serve a good wine to all of you in the afternoon. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
We had a great time.
My friends, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end with that video one last time, because I love looking at it and the music, and some of you may have come in a little late and have missed it. But again, reach out to Jen. Spaces are going quickly, but we'll reach out. And you know, Tina is saying it here. So looking forward to getting back to La Cascade, explore something new, meet new people, and reconnect with friends. And I love that Maria said here, don't let the fear stop you from finding the wonder of France. It's both of those things are so true. So thank you again, Jen, for taking time out of your busy day. I know we're all busy, but I'll go ahead, play us out. And I appreciate you all being here.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I can't wait to dance to the French music. I love the music you put with it.
I love it too. I'm so excited. All right, my friends.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to be here. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Bonne journée. Au revoir. And à bientôt.
À bientôt.
And here we go.